everybody, my name is Karen and I am the counselor here at Plexus. Welcome to the workshop on defining the different types of colleges. In this workshop, I will guide you through the different types of colleges that you might be familiar with, some that you might not be familiar with, and their definition. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off with the most common type of college, which is a four-year college. Now, this is the one that you are probably the most familiar with. Four-year colleges offer Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees plus more. Now, plus more, I can mean like PhDs and master's degrees, doctorates, etc. More restrictive enrollment standards than community colleges. That is, with four-year college, you have to go through a strict application process rather than with a community college. That all you have to do is, of course, do the application and probably a little few documents. Now, for four-year colleges, now they require so much more. Much larger student body than most community colleges. Of course, a four-year college is it's on a big campus, and you will be with so many students, probably with a big room of students as well. And most community colleges don't have as much students as that. If you can dream something up, you can find a college or university that offers a course or major in it. That is, a lot of four-year colleges, four-year universities do offer a ton of majors. They offer a lot of majors that you can choose from. So if you are undecided, then going to a four-year college is probably the best option for you. More specifically, a four-year college that offers a variety of majors. You have a well-rounded collegiate experience that cannot be found on a community college campus. That is, if you want to have the experience of living in the dorms, or if you want to have the experience of joining like a sorority, a fraternity, or something like that, then going to a four-year college is your best option, since you can't get something like that on most community college campuses. Community college. Now, I did mention a lot about community college in the previous slide, but let's go ahead and go over on what a community college means. On a community college, you get to complete a 2-year degree only and then enter the workforce. That is, you'll be able to complete the 2-year degree, which is the associate's degree. Now, community college can also offer things such as certificates as well. You can start first at a community college and then transfer to a four-year college. That is, at a community college, you'll be able to complete your general education courses the first 2 years. Now, maybe it can take a little bit longer, but it's usually your first 2 years, and then you'll be able to transfer those courses over into a four-year college. Now, keep in mind that you won't be doing 2 years and another 4 years, no, because those 2 years will be a part of those 4 years. So therefore, when you transfer, you'll just be doing your last 2 years for your bachelor's degree. Community colleges are more affordable than a four-year college. That is, their tuition is much lower. You don't have to live in a dorm. You don't have to worry about meals if you'll be living far away, etc. A better option if you are not ready to move far away from home after graduation. Now, there are a ton of local community colleges. You probably have a local community college near you as well. So that is an option that you can consider if you don't want to move too far away from home for your first 2 years of college. There are more open admissions policies. That is, most community colleges do have 100% acceptance rate. And finally, an additional opportunity to prove yourself at the college level. That is, if you did not do so well in high school to prove yourself to get into college, or if you're not ready for college yet, then going to community college is a good option for you. Trade school. Now let's move on to what is the definition of a trade school. Trade schools offer occupation-specific programs geared toward helping students to go directly from school into their chosen careers. For example, we have medical assisting, automotive repair, massage therapy, or computer support. So that is, if you don't want to be in school for so long, then going to trade school might be a good option for you. It is typically based on a hands-on approach to learning. So that is, you'll be doing a lot of hands-on work on these trade schools. A diverse student body. Most are already working, have families, and don't want to or aren't able to attend a traditional college. So as I mentioned before, if you don't want to be in school for so long, or if that is maybe close to impossible for you to attend school for a large amount of time, then going to trade school might be a good option for you to get some education and for you to get into a career that you are interested in. Program lengths can vary from 10 weeks to 2 years, so you won't be in school for too long. Course programs do vary from 10 weeks to 2 years. Of course, that depends on the program. Credits typically do not transfer over to a community college or a university. So that is, if you eventually want to transfer over to get your bachelor's degree, the credits you earn at a trade school won't qualify you for that. Also, you get a certificate in the field you studied, but not a degree. So you will get a certificate such as, let's say, medical assistant, but you won't be able to get an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree at a trade school. Let's move on to HBCU. Now, as you can see, HBCU is an acronym that stands for Historically Black College or University. These universities were established prior to 1964, and they help in promoting the higher education of Black Americans in the United States. HBCUs are rooted in giving African Americans an opportunity to pursue an education. Today, HBCUs are open to all students regardless of their race. That is, if you are not a Black American in the United States, then no worries. Of course, you are more than welcome to apply to an HBCU as well. Let's move on to women's colleges. Women's colleges are single-sex U.S. institutions of higher education that only admit female students. They are often liberal arts colleges. There were approximately 34 active women's colleges in the United States in the fall of 2018, down from a peak of 281 such colleges in the 1960s. Now, these colleges, of course, as mentioned, are only open to females, but of course, there might be some programs such as more higher education programs such as the masters and PhDs that may be open to males as well. But more specifically, these women's colleges are open to females as well. Let's move on to religious affiliated colleges. These are a self-identified association of an institution with a religion, denomination, church, or faith. There are around 1,000 religiously affiliated institutions across the U.S. Applicants are accepted who do not identify with their recognized faith. That is, if you're interested in attending this college and you do not recognize what the religion they recognize at their institution, then that is not a problem because they will still accept you regardless if you do not identify as a religion as well. On campus versus online. Of course, on campus is the one that you're mostly familiar with. It is a traditional classroom experience where you meet professors and students face to face. It is an education setting that most people are used to since their kindergarten, elementary school years. So if you would like to continue on doing this traditional classroom experience, of course, an on-campus is a better option for you. Now, online colleges are different than on-campus colleges. The term online college may give the impression of a virtual university existing only in cyberspace, but this is rarely the case. While there are a select number of reputable universities that offer classes exclusively online, most of the online degree programs that you see are virtual extensions of high-quality traditional campus colleges and universities. So that is, if you see the term online college, it most likely refers to a university that offers an online program and the bachelor's degree that you're interested in. The key differences to keep in mind are flexibility, interaction, self-motivation / self-discipline. So that is if this one goes for most if you're interested in like an online college. If you don't have that much time in your hands, or if you would like to stay home, maybe you have a family, then of course an online college might be the better option for you. But if you would like to experience that traditional classroom experience, then an on-campus option is the right option for you. Public versus private. Now, you may have heard of these terms, but are not sure what is the difference. Now, this is what we're going to go over right here. Public universities are institutions of higher learning funded by state governments. On the other hand, private colleges or universities are institutions of higher learning funded by private donors and individuals who are not part of the government. Now, what does that mean exactly? So let's start off with public. Public universities are significantly more affordable than private colleges. As you can see, one of the things that private colleges, one of the main differences is that they are more expensive. That is because they rely on the funding from their donors and from their students, whereas public universities rely on the funding from the state government and of course some from their tuition of their students. That is why public universities are significantly more affordable than private universities. Public universities do have larger class sizes. Private universities have smaller class sizes. That is because private universities tend to be smaller and public universities tend to be larger. So therefore, larger universities tend to have larger class sizes. You will lack of close relationships with your professors and advisors until your studies become more specialized. So that is if you're not used to a big classroom and you would like to have a close relationship with your professors and maybe your teacher's assistants, your advisors, etc., maybe even your classmates, then you'll have a lack of that because these classes do tend a little bit bigger. But of course, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to have a close relationship with them because you'll still be able to attend such as their office hours and have a private conversation with them. Whereas in private universities, you tend to have closer relationships with your professors and advisors because classes do tend to be smaller and maybe your professor might even get to know your name as well. Public universities do tend to have more degree programs, extracurricular activities, and cutting-edge facilities, whereas private universities tend to have fewer degree programs and activities. So that is because private universities are smaller colleges. They do tend to have fewer stuff and fewer activities to do than public universities because of their small student population. And finally, for public universities, you'll be able to attend a more vibrant campus environment. So that is, there are a ton of things to do at the public campus. You'll be able to interact with a high population student body, etc. Finally, for private universities, degree programs may be more customizable. So that is, if you're interested in a program but would like to have your own touch to it, then of course you might be able to customize it in your own way. Now, please keep in mind that public universities and private universities, of course, as you can see, do have their pros and cons, but don't judge a university based on the things or the information I just gave you, because each university is different. Maybe there are some private universities who are super big, maybe there are some public universities who are super small, etc. So just don't judge any universities based on the list that I give you. And there are a ton of great public and private universities as well. Public, there could be like UC Berkeley, UCLA. Private universities, it could be most of the Ivy Leagues. So just don't judge anything based on the list that I give you. All right, we have reached the end of this workshop. Thank you everybody for sticking around. Before I leave, I would like to let you all know to please download our Plexus app on the App Store or Google Play. If you download our app, you'll be able to receive instant notifications. We'll also very much appreciate it if you leave us a rating and a review on the App Store or Google Play as well. We very much appreciate all the feedback you all can give us. Chat with my counselor if you have any questions regarding this workshop, or if you'd like to reach out about your journey to higher education. We're always happy to help in answering all of your questions as well. And finally, check out our Plexus YouTube page for more college readiness workshops. Our Plexus YouTube page is called Plexus Social Media. Thank you everybody again, and I will see you all in the next workshop. Bye!